Flatulence. That's the title of this particular live stream tonight that is coming here from the wonderful town of Rochdale, the most beautiful town you could imagine, up in the north of England, which isn't really that far north, and in a part of the world that is mostly damp, mostly full of people like me, men with yellow t-shirts on, humming away to themselves, wondering what they've done with their flat cap. That's the way, eating chips, fish, not those types of course, sausages, any of these kind of foods that's basically just stuff bunged into a fryer, and you stick it down your face, you eat it as quickly as possible so you don't have to experience the moment for as much as you can. Fat men in t-shirts with football t-shirts, football fat men driving Vauxhalls. That's what the North is all about. And potholed roads just like everywhere else. But of course, well, in this part of the country, we complain about it a rather different way. We complain about it. We blame others for the potholes rather than the stupid cars that we drive that are far too heavy, and the stupid fat bodies full of pies that are far too heavy for the cars. And oh gosh, what a terrible, 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 wonderful place it is. Right, hi, how's it going? It is time for Mustard to stop rambling, and I don't know what I was even on about there really. I just like flicked a switch and suddenly some crap came out. Some crap's completely unrelated to anything that's to do with the live stream tonight or any of that indeed. But that's the way it goes. That's how I make them. That's why I do them. Gosh, right, okay. Right, so yeah, tonight's live stream, the title's there because it was suggested the other day. It's got nothing to do with what's actually going on, except that you will see fish in the background, and at some point I'm most likely to drop out a couple of methane nuggets. So that will obviously do the job. Cooking, that's where this channel started off. Not really likely to be doing any cooking tonight because my belly is absolutely stuffed with curry that was eaten only an hour and a half or 2 hours before this started. So the last thing I feel like doing tonight is actually making any food, which is a shame because I know that some people come here to see me do it, to see what kind of incredible bodged job of food I actually can make when I'm just here busking it. But a constant is the tea, the beard, until I get rid of it one day. So everybody, how are you? I'm going to say hello to you all in a minute, but I wanted to know, how are you all? How's it going? Are you happy tonight? Anything wonderful happened? It is a bank holiday tomorrow, so some of you will indeed be having an extra day off work, and for many that may be an exciting time, something wonderful, a trip out in the car to visit one of the favourite traffic jams of the north, possibly. What should we do today, Margaret? Margaret says, perhaps we should go out and sit in a traffic jam for a couple of hours. Good idea, Margaret. And then they consult the dog and they say, these people don't have much of imagination. So they say, Fido, what do you fancy doing? And Fido says, well, I suppose we could pop out for a little while, couldn't we? It's quite a while before the snooker comes on. So yeah, that's bank holidays for you. That's the kind of bank holiday you can expect to be having tomorrow. But in preparation for tomorrow, I'm holding this like it's a pint glass, aren't I? I should do that more often. I went to a car show today. I'll tell you all about that in a bit if you like. I'll tell you all about that in a bit, and some other things I can tell you all about in a bit when I discover that all of the people I'm speaking to tonight have already gone, and the only thing I can do is just then ramble on to myself for a further 5 minutes. Now then, as somebody rather lovely says quite often, oh, here we go, here's the first one on its way already. Oh, there we go. That sounded almost comedic, didn't it? I tell you what, worthwhile mentioning that today's been a lovely sunny day. It's been sunny all day, and I've been out in it all day. So, I'm well and truly in the mood for feeling like it is summer, even though it's not quite. But it's been warm enough to be actual summer today, hasn't it? Now, so let's go to the top of there, where I shall. First thing I will do, seeing the Greenwood's name there, is press live chat. There we go. And then, hi all, says the Greenwood. Hello, Mustard. I'm a friendly resident moderator, permanently glued to the walls of the chat box so tightly that even the most vigorous shake won't unstick me. Fine words there, thank you. And the usual rules apply, most important being don't be a dick to other chat members. And then Mustard live chat cleared up. Clear, lovely indeed. And right, so obviously our friendly resident moderator is here, which is kind of something that we're all used to, isn't it? But hang on. I'm going to save some of that nonsense I was talking a minute ago, because some of that might have been quite useful for another idea, a bit like the Mick Jagger thing the other day. I'd like to ask your opinion of that, because that's the kind of thing I could do an awful lot more of. Now, son of Jack 71, as in 1971, born in 1971, that is, cleared out my loft today. Now wine and mustard champion. Gosh, that really makes me feel like I'm at home in your home. Wonderful, thank you very much. Troops, says Steekhawk. Troops, of the quite a few of them, well, five troops and a waving chap with an orange top on. Thank you very much for joining us. And Charlotte Calliston is here, who says, of course, hello and good evening, which is a perfectly good way of entering anywhere where other people are involved. I mean, you could even do it to nobody, couldn't you? You get so used to just saying hello and good evening that you could do it whilst on your way out for a walk with the dog. And just in case that lamppost is listening, good evening, lamppost, how are you? You walk away from it before it gets a chance to answer, because you don't want to be seen as one of those people that speak to lampposts, do you? Oh, no. Especially if you come across that particular lamppost that does listen and can talk. We could easily do a trick here. All you'd need really would be some sort of device inside the lamppost that's wired up with a speaker and some wireless malarkey so that you could speak to the lamppost. And that's the one that you don't want to be seen speaking to, because people will think you're bonkers, even though you're proving that you're not. And hello, and Stephen S. Paul is here. Hello, Mustard and other individuals, which is what's another rather polite way of saying hello to everybody. It's not good. No, you can't just say hello. Right, say hello, everybody. Okay, that should be enough. But no, we've got to put a bit more effort into it, haven't we? So other individuals. Yeah, other individuals. And then calling everybody individuals is quite a nice way of saying you're all different to one another, because you are anyway. But to actually acknowledge that by calling them individuals is good thinking, Stephen S. Paul. Well done. Peter P is here. Hello, Peter P. And Bad Books as well. And Bad Books, liking the shirt, says Peter P. Yes, I like the shirt as well. I've worn this one all day today, which is probably not such a bad thing, but I've had a shower in between wearing it and then putting it back on again. So maybe you could say that's not a good idea. But I took the picture for the live stream thumbnail with this t-shirt and I thought perhaps I should leave it on because it's a rather colourful little thumbnail. And I didn't want to spoil it by turning up on the live stream looking all drab. Oh yeah, of course it is, if anybody doesn't know, Pat's Mustard, the milkman from Father Ted, who was a rather excellent character, I might add. Steve Hulk saying hello to everyone. Everyone's saying hello. Everyone's saying hello. Everyone's saying hello. Everyone's saying hello. We're all saying hello, basically. The bigger part of this live stream and other people's live streams seem to be just saying hello to each other. I wonder what would happen if we didn't say hello to each other. What would happen then? Right, okay, you can't get rid of the beard, Mustard. You will lose all of your special power, like Samson did when Delilah cut his hair. And I know, poor Samson. That was a terrible moment for him, wasn't it, really? I already feel like that. I feel like that's what happened when I had my live streams getting thousands of views into suddenly getting a couple of hundred. That might be the same kind of thing, but although I didn't cut my beard off to achieve such a thing. But the disappointment is the same. And I might add that probably came about because of so many people watching and not liking. Liking a live stream or a video is really important, especially if it's getting some numbers, because otherwise YouTube's algorithm just assumes that it's cack. And because not enough people have liked it, then it automatically says, well, we won't show it to anybody else because we don't want to upset anyone. The last thing the algorithm wants to do is upset people, so we can't be showing the public live streams that don't have lots and lots of likes. It's as simple as that. Welcome, Mustard's maiden fart. And that was welcome to my maiden fart. My dear, lovely, farty introduction, of which many more shall probably come along. But I don't know. Maybe they won't do. Does anybody actually like it? Is anybody wishing me to do lots of farts? Because that's what it seems like. That, you know, we only come here for the farts. We don't want to see this beardy man with his yellow t-shirt on talking about anything either interesting, surreal, philosophical, or any of this stuff. We just want to see a grown man trump out his gas. If that's what you're thinking, please let me know. We yourself doing that. I'm not gonna do. You don't wee out your bottom, Steve Culg. Perhaps you should know that. No, that comes out of somewhere else. What you are likely to possibly, what you are risking by openly and wantingly letting out a pump like that is something else, which I won't discuss because it's not going to happen. Okay. Yes. I don't think I ever got around how we pronounce this one, but Yekatara and Ifin, and I just called you Ifin, didn't I? See you later. F1 is on, so it's irrelevant anyway. I'm sorry that F1's on. I really am. I mean, if you like watching it, then I can't be that sorry, but I just don't want to watch it myself. Oh gosh, well, the other one now. Right, Zoe's here. Nice little fish. Thank you very much. Nice little fish. There are about over 40 of them. Andrew Buzzy, a very good evening, Mustard, and everyone. Thank you, Andrew. My opinion on future nonsense. Cool. Speak later. If that was aimed at me. My opinion on future nonsense. Cool. Speak later. If that was aimed at me. My opinion on future nonsense. Well, it's aimed at anyone, really, I suppose. Yeah, possibly. I'll come back to that afterwards. V Beats, yo uncle, what's up? Oof, well, what's V Beats? V Beats, what's up? Didn't never really get that one, but I suppose it's a way of saying hello, isn't it? And what's up to you? Though I just always assume that you should be answering that with some sort of opinion on your life or somebody else's or something. Not just you don't answer what's up with I'm okay or everything's fine, but that's actually what's required. Sorry, I'm just a bit confused by it. Good evening, Captain Mustard, says Dan Peters, and good evening to you, Dan Peters. And I am very much beginning to think, looking forward to the takeaway night that isn't going to be tonight because I'm still stuffed from eating earlier on. But it will happen maybe tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow or Tuesday. I haven't quite decided. Because it depends. See, the thing is, a takeaway. The only trouble with a takeaway is one is that you've got to get it. You've got to have the takeaway there ready for the live stream. I can't do the live stream and then go and get the takeaway. I've got to have the takeaway here and then do the live stream. So unless I was to not kind of book it in as such, not to have the live stream set up previously, I would struggle to get the timing just right. So what I could do is actually just say, right, tomorrow or Tuesday, whichever one it happens to be, I'm going to do a takeaway live stream, and it will start when I get home with the takeaway. But I'm not entirely sure what time that will be. Barry Squatters just messaged me. With a meme, I think. But I'm doing a live stream, Barry Squatter. I'm sorry. What was I saying? Oh yeah, about how to do a live stream takeaway thingy. I suppose there is an alternative. You could get somebody else to go and collect it, but then that would seem awfully unfair. Or it could be a live stream takeaway from the car, which would be a bit grotty. But even then, still getting the timing exactly right could be just a bit tricky. I'm going to think about it, because that might be actually easier. Yeah, take away from the car. Right, okay, how about that, right? Open top takeaway. Yeah, eat it in the MG because obviously the smell of the food won't linger inside because there's no roof on it. So then what I need is just a nice, reasonably moisture-free evening to conduct this food thing on. And then, decision on where to actually eat it, because I don't want to eat it right outside the takeaway place itself. And I can't eat it inside because then it wouldn't be a takeaway. Right, there we go. Good. So, Emma Lemon is here. Emma Lemon, hey people, have I missed any fish or flatulence yet? Yes, you have. Maybe I should try doing that a bit more often. I've had a few people saying, oh, can you sing? Would you sing for us? I'll just sing out your comments. What about that? Maybe that would work. And yes, we have. We have had some fish and flatulence, but only, I've done some pretend flatulence and then a real one, which clearly had some people worried. Hello, sis. Yes, you have missed the maiden fart, but it wasn't a gift for me this time. Oh, yes, of course, yes, right. There's a point, yeah, every little trumpet should be gifted to somebody somewhere to treasure, even though they can't really collect it and I can't post it. So the next one that comes along, whoever happens to be the comments I'm reading at the time, will be gifted my pump, okay? If you like that kind of thing. And if you don't, just reject it and say, the person below me can have this because I really do not need a middle-aged man's smelly arse gas up my nostrils right now. Okay. Hello, even. Hello, hello. Losing the numbers, I think, says the Greenwood, possibly YouTube tweaked it so that you're only visible in the UK site and not worldwide. Why would they do that though? Do you reckon? I mean, that's what a cruel thing to do. And besides that, there are, in case you haven't really realised, quite a lot of people still in Australia on this live stream, and some from America as well. Well, they might, well, they're subscribers, aren't they? But that theory that you have there, is it something that you've, is it something that you're just thinking of, or is it something that you've heard? I'd like to know that. What logic would they be using to do that? Sorry, I'm putting you on the spot here now. I want answers. I want answers on asking you to give them to me. Excuse me one moment, I won't be long. As I opened the fridge up then, I spotted the blue cheese, the Stilton, the little segment of blue Stilton, and the mincemeat that I bought a few days back. And it has got me thinking about some sort of cheesy, mincy feast. I think it probably sounds disgusting, but I've got a feeling that that might be something worthwhile having a go at. If I could just lose this sense of being stuffed full of food that I have right now, I could start taking some of that seriously. Now, I'll tell you what I've tried with, some of the typical things you have with mincemeat, tomatoes, of course, garlic, of course, onions, spices, beans, herbs for bolognese. But what about horseradish? Now, this isn't something of a gamble. Horseradish beef works really well, doesn't it? Yeah? If you have some beef, you put horseradish on it, it works. So horseradish and mince meat works really well. And I know it does because I've tried it myself before. But what also works well with beef or mince is cheese. And what also works with horseradish is cheese. So what about that as a combination? A kind of a blue cheesy horseradishy segment of liquidized cow. What? Yeah? I reckon I'll probably be the only person eating it, but that's a good thing in some ways. It means that there's more for me. But I'm clearly not going to do it tonight because I am way too full up. Oh, look. Yeah, okay, so Steve W is here. Get rid of the beard. You've missed the Easter egg competition, mustard. The Greenwood, hello, hope you're well. I would not swap any car Boaty has for my cat, even though the cars are good. Well, has he suggested that you swap one of his cars for your cat? I mean, it's a strange request. Farts add to the doings. If he was trumping, I'm not sure you'd keep the lady viewers, but you'd certainly pick up some more kinky fans, says the Greenwood. Yeah, that is a good point, actually. What a way to do it. What a way. Promise to come to this live stream and have lots and lots of farts to listen to. Wow, I won't disappoint you. But then I would really, wouldn't I? Oh, that one again. Charlotte says, for the next live stream, a showcase of exquisite steak tartare will be a truly delightful experience. I'm not really keen on that. I thought the tartare, I would say kind of thing that the tartare sandwich, like, is basically minced beef that's not been cooked, and you just eat it as it is. Or is there another thing a bit like it that doesn't involve eating raw meat? Do you know, I'm just a bit unsure. I'm missing something there, because I don't like the sound of that. Risking a squirty Bertie. Cat's Meow, nice title. Why is there a pregnant Barbie doll? Oh, why isn't there a pregnant Barbie doll? 1 second. Why isn't there a pregnant Barbie doll? Because Ken came in a different box. Very good. Next live stream, beer and biscuits. Well, that would be easy to do, wouldn't it? Because do you know what? I could be tempted. I could be tempted to do a beer live stream where right from the off I've got beer on the go. If I had some really interesting beers to sort of talk about, a review, and then mix it with biscuits, because you don't want to eat on an empty stomach. Good idea. Good idea, Cat's Meow. Kev O, or is that Kev Zero? Hi. Hello, Kev. How are you? Hi, Kev. Hello. Araya? Aya's here as well. Hey, man, says Kev O. Hey, how are you doing, sir? Says Aya. Wow. 2 new ones in one quick go. That's pretty cool, actually. I bet you're British, aren't you? Let's test this out. If anybody new comes to the live stream and is from America, please let me know, or anywhere else, because of this little theory that Greenwood has. Oh, itchy eye, itchy eye. How do you multi-track your songs? Asks Son of Jack. I do like the Fred the Shed song. On my phone, I have an app, which is a multi-track app. I can't say it's not particularly nice to use. Like most digital things, they're not difficult to use, but it's nothing like having actual buttons to press and move around. I used to have a Tascam 414 multi-track player, multi-track recorder with a tape. You know, remember the audio tapes? You'd use that, and you could have so many goes on the tape before the tape started to disintegrate. But it was so easy to use. But that, obviously, I don't use that now. Everything's digital. So you can put one track in and then just record over it. But here's the problem. If you just do it like that, then it records the previous track as well. So then you end up with a whole load of noise. And the only way to do it is to use earphones with the kind of earphones that have a microphone built in with them. So then you can hear what's going on, and then you can do a new bit of track on a separate thing through the microphone. That's it. But, and the but is definitely here, and it's rather annoying. My particular earphone things have another noise cancelling thing with microphone, which means that a great deal of what you're putting in there doesn't even come out. And so as much as I'd like to be doing lots of multi-track recordings like that, they just sound so bloody horrible. And it's disappointing, really disappointing. I need to try and find some earphones that have this, because obviously that's for, you can have earphones in whilst you know using your mobile phone for talking, and it doesn't really matter about the sound quality too much. It's more getting rid of background noises. But if I could have one of those that doesn't have any kind of interference with interference, then that would really work better. I could do lots more multi-track recordings like Fred the Shed. Well, he's not been knighted yet. Who's not? Oh, right, I see. Well, lots of people call me Sir Steve. Collect and post. You need Tupperware. Woohoo, the kettle is on, says Steve. Now, was that your kettle or mine? Because if it's mine, then I really am quite close to catching up with the comments, which would be rather exciting. Johnny West, just out of curiosity, how many hours do you spend a week on the fish tank for maintenance? It looks awesome, by the way. Well, not a great deal, really. They don't need that much. Water, take some water out, take the filters out, wring them out. This is scraping of the algae. I've got a thing, it's like a Brillo pad on a stick, and so in fact it's there. All the fish tank peripherals are kept underneath it, which is a perfect place, isn't it? But there we go, that there. You stick that in down the side of the glass like that, and there we go. You can get all the way to the bottom with only just about getting your hand wet. I could actually try and clean the stones a bit more with the pump, but the trouble is I've got a bit lazy with that because I've got like what do you call it, a siphoning thing, and they'll stick that in there. The other end reaches the sink, so I don't have to bother with another container. I can just go straight down the sink, which does speed things up somewhat. Thank you for asking, by the way, Johnny West. Chris Bowen, evening mustard. I hope you and your flatulent fish are well this evening. As well as can be, I suppose. How about you? Is anybody else particularly flatulent? How masterful. Demanding answers, lol. I was just thinking that random people won't be able to find you if you're only being offered in the UK site now. The regulars around the world are already subbed. Well, that's kind of what I thought, yeah. So only time will tell, won't it? Only time. But, you know, I'm still demanding answers, though. I'm still demanding answers because obviously the American market for this is much, much bigger, and it feels like they like this kind of thing more than the Brits do. So why would they do that? I don't know. I'll try not to think about it because it's so disappointing. You know where you are, and they get alerted. Mustard, do you want some cake? It's got thingy in it. What thingy? It's got thingy in it. What? Cream? Cinnamon. or something that's not always associated with cake until the 60s. Is that the kind of thingy that you're talking about? Well, very, very good, Steve. I shall explain my theory a bit better when I've more than 150 characters to play with. Okay, well, I would obviously be very interested in that. I'd be even more interested in a solution, if only there could be a solution to it. But the solution to any of these things is actually do something that people want to watch. And that's what I keep thinking. And me just sat here talking about there being a problem is not really coming up with a solution, is it? And neither's cooking either, because you've seen all that before. You watch a man in his kitchen trying to cook something, pretending that he's enjoying eating it. You know, it could wear thin, couldn't it? Having said that, at the moment I've got 26 people watching, and that isn't too bad considering these times. Name Me -1 is here with sunglasses on. And that's probably because it has been rather sunny today, and a sunny day is a welcome day indeed. Next title, Tea and Tiffin. Tea and Tiffin. Sophie Ellis Baxter is here. Hello, Sophie Ellis Baxter. Welcome again. Cat's Meow. Asking me a question that I can't possibly answer without showing a degree of annoyance, I'm afraid. Are you a Manchester U fan? No. It's football. I don't like football. I can't stand football. I think football is boring and I don't ever want to watch it. Right. I've only ever watched one football match, and that was, I'm going to tell you about it because it's a fascinating story. It's a bit better a story than the game. There's a dog there. When I was about 11 or 12, I had a friend at school, and he said to me, do you want to come and watch this football game? And I said, no, not really. And he said, well, I'll just come along. You might like it. And I said, I don't really like football. And I think he said something, yeah, you'll like this though. It's different when you're there. It's different when you're there watching it. I thought, I can't see it really. But because he said a couple of the right things, like it's different when you're there, you get to have a hot dog or something like this, I thought, yeah, all right then. Or it might have also been, what are you doing on Saturday? And at that current time, I didn't have an answer. So it's just like, well, there you go. Come watch football then. That's what normal people do. So yeah, in an attempt to be a normal, happy, functioning boy of about 11 or 12 years old, rather than one that was bored with doing something like watching football, I thought I'd go along and watch this game of football and try and enjoy it. And I got picked up by him and his dad in a Hillman Avenger, which I liked. I like the Hillman Avenger. I like those, the rear lamps always remind me of boomerangs. And the cars weren't that bad. I mean, I do miss our roads being full of these rather handsome and interesting and quirky British cars, just like everybody else does that haven't bought a BMW. And so we went off to this game, might have been in Oldham, no, it wasn't very far away. And it was cold and it was boring. It was the most boring experience I think I have ever had. And I'm fairly sure that I didn't really consider him much of a friend afterwards, and we didn't really talk that much. So there we go. That's my experience with football and my proof that it is actually boring. So sorry about that answer, cat's meow. But that's the truth. Okay? Anybody else got any questions I can answer like that? Hey Sophie, how was your pie? My Sunday dinner was lovely, thank you. Thank you. Looks, oh right, I see. Have we been taking some pictures that I haven't seen? I haven't seen very much of anything today because I've been busy at a car show, which, if you like, I'll tell you about afterwards. because I've got to do some editing as well. If I tell you about it, it might help me remember some of the bits I want to include in there. Oh, a Tascam, says the Greenwood. That takes me back. My ex had one of those in the 90s, and it is the 90s I was talking about. It was 1997, I think. 1997, yes. What a great time that was. I went into the shop and I bought it and took it home and used it. And that's exactly what you're supposed to do. But I used it to the extent where I well and truly got my money's worth of it. So much so that I don't even know how much it cost. It might have been £120. It might have been 80, but I think it was more like 120. It could have been £180, but I think it was actually 120 or thereabouts. Anyway, the point was that I used it. I made all sorts of music on there, all guitar-based stuff. And I bought a drum machine. What was that? Yeah, I can't remember that one. Oh, hang on, that's coming to me as well. Uh-oh. I'm going to remember something really, really rather drab. I'm going to push it to the back, because what you don't really want now is me telling you about a drum machine that was available in the 90s, do you? No, you don't. But anyway, every available sound on that drum machine was probably used by me on what I called 3 or 4 albums worth of material that I just made up. Before I was doing classical guitar, I had my electric guitar, and I would, the same kind of way, just sit down with it and just play it, and stuff would come out. So loads and loads there. Yeah. Anyway, so there we go. Another mini ramble again there, I'm afraid. I was full up, I was full up. No, have I? No, I was full up now, and have a glass of wine and watch a film. So Sophie Ellis Baxter's going to watch a film. I wonder if it's a James Bond film. Nice Sunday evening. There, Sophie. Just watching ball as well. Ah, yes. Just watch. Mustard, do you like kippers? Asks Cat's Meow. I certainly do like the taste and smell of them. The one thing I was never keen about with kippers, though, are the little spindly bones that ruin most fish. I mean, they're so inconsiderate fish, aren't they? They make themselves super tasty, and then have a bone that you have to pull out. And when you have lots and lots of tiny bones like that, it's rather difficult to actually just pull the bones out first. Not like you can do with a cow. So you don't eat a cow and find bones in it, do you? You eat the cow off of the bone. Fish, different, special with fish. How big are kippers? Are they about that long, aren't they? I think they are. I think they're about that long. Though I must admit, it's been a very, very long time since I did have kippers. And I found that smoked mackerel was a slightly better alternative, because they don't seem to be quite as bony. And now we're at your ear. And on the subject of kippers, I must remember whether I've told you all about the incident of the missing kipper. Oh, and the other one as well. The fish in butter sauce. Oh, yeah. 2 fishy incidents I could tell you about that were, well, quite amazing, actually. And on my other channel, when I first started doing some live streams, I would recall a few anecdotes of my younger years and tell a few stories, true stories as well, but I can't remember which ones they were. And I'm not going to sit and watch through one of my own live streams to find out, just so as I don't repeat myself. Better off you telling me whether you've heard them or not. Right, so Mustard, have you had a go of stink? Oh, right. Mustard, have you got stinking drunk and accidentally urinated in the fish tank? Asks Cat's Meow. Oh, that was for you, Cat's Meow. It was reasonably quiet, but I'm sure it's going to be exceedingly potent. No, I haven't. No, I've never I got exceedingly drunk, but I've never considered having a wee in the tank of fishes. Oh, £23 refund from Asda. Thank you. I've never done that, and I never will do. I hope. And besides that, it's in the height of it. I mean, I am obviously of a decent height, but for me to accidentally be in there, I'd have to be stood on something like the worktop or the table, which I wouldn't trust to take my weight, or one of these chairs, which wouldn't really be quite high enough. So then what I'd have to do would be kind of wee in a receptacle and then put it into the fish tank. And that would be much more deliberate. I reckon at some point you realise what you're doing there and stop. Mohammed Taikar. Hello, smart man. Smart as in like smartly dressed or smart thinking. Either sounds a bit sarcastic, but hello, welcome. Nicole Raff for click. Nicole. I'm just going to go Nicole Ray. Nicole Ray. What kind of fish do you have? Well, the majority are tiger barbs, torpedo barbs, lumpy things, and penguin tetras. There are others as well. Do fish fart? And can you see the bubbles? I reckon that doesn't sound to me like a really silly question. I think the answer is yes, they must do, mustn't they? I mean, they will have a build-up of gases, although a small amount. They're bound to do, aren't they? Of course they fart. What doesn't fart? Eh? I wonder what it would have been like being in the company of a T-Rex when that farted. Or the biggest dinosaur ever, which was the biggest was the Diplodocus or Diplodocus, whichever it is. But there was supposed to be also something called an Argentinosaurus, which is unconfirmed whether that really was actually real or not. But that was even bigger. Now, the amount of body that has, and of course, eating plants does make you fart. So you imagine being behind a Diplodocus when that let one go. Ooh. Maybe what happened is they farted themselves into extinction rather than being, wiped out by a meteorite. You're going to fart like that, somebody's going to get hurt, aren't they? Eh? Oh, hello, Paul. And are you on this evening? Yeah. And how has your day been this Sunday? Asks Sophie Ellis Baxter. Well, my day's been very busy. It's been very busy indeed. I got up, not especially early, but I did get up in the morning, which is fairly good going for a Sunday. I mean, not for me because I'm always up. But I went off to a car show. And I had to go and collect the car known as Nigel, which is this one here, from the lockup, which meant going to work first, retrieving it, taking it out, and then the long old drive to the Ellen Road car show, which is about a mile off. And there, I spent all day eating egg butties. Oh, maybe that's why these are starting to pop along so quite frequently now. Because I did have quite a lot of egg butties as well, and 2 flasks of tea. So keeping my stomach full and keeping my liquids up. And I must have needed them as well, because of the whole day I only went for a wee once, which means I was getting dehydrated just by being outside. And it can happen quite easily. And that's at only, 18, 20 degrees, something like that. Might have been less actually, but I can't think of what it really was because I wasn't keeping track of it. That was quite a long bit of day. And then after that, what did I do after that? Gosh, God, my memory's starting to go terrible. I mean, really terrible. Oh yeah, we went to the park. We had a walk around the park. That's it. and then we had some food, and then we went for a walk up the canal, and then I came back, and then I had a shower, and then I put the same clothes back on to save the washing, and then I started my live stream about 5 minutes before everything was properly settled. I hope that didn't give you too much. I agree, the American market liking the Brit bloke cooking genre. They will find you again. I'll have to do some digging, Googling, and to see if anyone else is moaning, if anyone else is moaning about the drop-off numbers. Oh, right. You know what I did when this first happened? I was straight on, like Googling, finding out whether other, numbers drop, this kind of thing, and it just seems to be one of those things that happens all the time to other people, and I think it is something to do with them giving you like this little period of time where they'll just give you a whole load of something, see whether anything sticks. That's all it can be. And we're getting the air from. I made a boomerang once. She never came back. I had to throw her out. That's Steve Cole doing a joke. And then she came back. Yeah, the Tascam would have been about 1997 here too. My ex suddenly got back into writing music with a friend of his. Oh, right. So I bought a Tascam from either Croydon or Denmark Street. Can't remember. Mine came from a place in Guildford called Anderton's Music. I don't know whether it was a big company with two shops. I don't know. Anyway, it was quite a big music shop, and I'd gone in there and bought this 4-track and a drum machine, although I can't remember if it was on the same day or not. And then I noticed they were looking for somebody to work there. They needed somebody to work in the guitar department. So I went back and I said, I could do that. I could do it. And I had a chat with the boss, and he said, yeah, you've got the job. So I worked there for about 6 months before they decided that I didn't really fit in, which was probably true, but being a slightly more northern man and the whole thing being rather Surrey based, the son of the boss, called Lee, he just didn't really get along with me too well for some reason, and he admitted that was the problem. He said something a bit like, I don't think having a northerner in the shop is good for business. Honestly, he said something a bit like that. But I tell you what though, I actually annoyed him by selling something. I sold a keyboard by accident, not by accident, but somebody rung up and I answered the phone, and rather than just going straight onto the keyboard department, this chap was asking me questions straight away. And I recommended a keyboard. And I recommended this keyboard because the keyboard bloke was talking about this particular keyboard quite a bit. So I said, oh, you could try this one. It's this amount of money, what have you. And he said, yeah, I'll have that. Then that'll do for me. And then he just said, can I just order it through on the phone now? So I said, yeah. So I sold this keyboard, and that was almost a sackable offence, which did confuse me slightly at the time. Anyway, on with what I was talking about. What constitutes freedom for a lion? Is it a vast expanse of savanna, or the thrill of the hunt, or perhaps the social connections within the pride? Can a zoo lion ever be truly free? That's a rather deep question, Charlotte. I mean, a zoo lion is essentially in prison, isn't it? It's got a life behind uh, the constraints of walls which there is not allowed to escape from, and it's there to be looked at. So I don't really think you could say it's free. I mean, it doesn't have a job that it doesn't want to do, but it can't really be free if it's not allowed to be free, can it? So obviously, there's more danger involved in being out in the savannah. You don't know. The lion doesn't know whether it's going to feed itself from day to day. They don't eat every day anyway, do they? The actual purpose of freedom, not purpose, sorry, the actual. Come on, what's wrong with you tonight? I don't know. I've used up all my energy just talking bollocks earlier on. I think that's what it is. The freedom is only really just because you're in danger doesn't mean that you're not free. That's what I'm saying. I think so. The answer to that has to be that quite simply, the the freedom of a lion can only really be there if it is free to catch its own food and suffer the consequences of not catching his own food, like what happens in the zoo. I suppose it maybe depends what kind of lion you are. Some lions might think, well, I'll tell you what, I'd actually quite like this. I quite like just being incarcerated. Like an old person might do once they get to the stage where they can't really look after themselves and they go into a home. How does it work for lions? The lions have old lions' homes as well? No, they don't. They become vulnerable instead and then get eaten or just attacked by something else. Fishy incident anecdote. Loaded and wait, please. Deep pan shoe Sharma. Deep pan shoe Sharma. Hey man, what's up? Where are you from? Well, I am in Great Britain now. Deep pan, if you're still here, which you might not be, please tell me, whereabouts are you? Are you in the UK? And have you just found this live stream or have you been here before? I not can't. Right. Do you put celery or onions in tuna fish? Neither really. I'm not really a big fan of tuna. I find it a bit dry. Goodwin, react to Kendrick's diss track. What's that? Kendrick diss. I'm sorry, speaking a foreign language to be there. I don't know what you mean. My favourite dinosaur was blind. It was the. Do you think you're a so? Do you think Yosaurus? Do you think Yosaurus? Yes, brilliant. Okay, got there in the end. Do you think Yosaurus? One of my favourite dinosaurs was a literary type. Lived in Yorkshire called the Emily Brontosaurus. Have you had the unfortunate situation of farting only to find out you soiled yourself? Oh, what a crude question, cat's meow. Dare I even answer that one? Do I really want the whole world, or at least 21 of the world, knowing whether I have actually done that or not? Because the thing is, if I deny it, then you're going to think, I bet you have really, aren't you? I bet you have. I bet you have done that. And if I tell you that I have, then you'll know that I have. So the best thing I can do is just say, I don't remember doing. Better than Diplodol, like the top. Yes, Sophie. A nice man provided me with this, and I'm sure with some of your help as well. AC2. What season did your episode of Catch the Predator? Gosh, an awful lot of police presence going on outside. What season did your episode of To Catch a Predator air? I don't know. Is that the an alien thing? And she was too bent, and she kept trimming the bushes. Cat's meow. Mustard. An acceptable answer to the question of where are you from is I am from my daddy's nutsack. I suppose you could say that. I'm never going to say that though, I'm afraid. A northerner in the shop isn't good for business. Can you believe it? But it's racist, as my daughters would say. Yeah, I think these days it would be more like, you'd never get away with saying that, would you? You'd get, you'd be in too much fear of some sort of backlash. What do you call a boomerang that doesn't come back? A stick? Oh, a stick. Yeah, a punchline. It was a philosophical question, Steve. What was? Right. Steve Culk says, just sounded like a good joke. Do you ever pretend to be Henry Cole, asks AJ, so you can smash lonely housewives? Is that what he does? Henry Cole. Right, let me get this one right. Henry Cole is the chap who does classic cars, but doesn't really get his hands dirty. He's got reasonably long grey hair and he has glasses, yeah? But he also has a hat on. And he's also reasonably smartly dressed. Is that right? Or am I thinking of... no, I was thinking of George Cole then. Yeah, it's not... So it's not... It's not Arthur Daly. No. Or George Formby. No. Or Formby Beach. Should not be giving a boomerang a name. Should not be giving a boomerang a name. Why are we talking about boomerangs? Oh yeah, of course, because of the most interesting part of going to watch football was a drive in the back of a helmet Avenger, that was it, right. Cat's meow. Mustard, have you begun your Christmas shopping? One can never start too early. Well, yes, you can start too early. You can start too early, and that would definitely be too early. For me, any kind of Christmas shopping will be done right at the last moment, just to show how much I don't really want to do it. I don't like Christmas. I'm not going to start liking Christmas, I don't think. Maybe what you're suggesting there is that you could like Christmas a bit more if it wasn't the stress of having to go out looking for things you don't want to buy people. And you'd already have done that if you start your Christmas shopping off 6 months, 8 months, 9 months, 2 years, whatever, before it actually happens. I mean, I wouldn't mind Christmas if it didn't happen every year, but it does, doesn't it? Imagine if some of the powers that be decided that Christmas is just a bit much for many people. It's not good for the poor. It's not good for the depressed. Let's just turn it down a bit, shall we? Stop going on about bloody Christmas, and then the majority of people will feel a bit more laid back around Christmas time and not feel utterly defeated by life because of it. And I'm sure I'm not alone with this. I'm sure there are many other people who it's not even about the money. It's just this. You know, there's songs, the Christmas songs that most of us really can't stand, like the Mariah Carey thing, because it just gets in your ears, and it's like it gets in your head, and it starts making itself so unwelcome. It's a bit like having a really horrible, noisy, drunken neighbour. That's what Christmas is like. Right, okay, let's carry on. There must be something rather exciting going on. Have you taken your fish for a walk yet? Asks Stephen S. Paul. I haven't, and I'm not going to do, because I don't think they'd like it. Custodial defende protege. It's lamp wrap beef between Kendrick Lamar and Drake. Ignore it. Oh, right. Oh, right, hang on. Not a lamp. It's a lame rap beef between Kendrick Lamar and Drake. Ignore it. Well, I think I will do. I think I will do. Sounds kind of pointless to me. Emily Brontosaurus, yes. Thank you for liking that one. Hi, Mustard, says Joe. Hi, Mustard. Custody defender protege is a known troll. Please remove him from here. Is it? Right, hang on. I probably won't be able to see it now. What do you mean? Hang on. Ah, right, hang on, wait a minute. You talk about, I thought you talked about the one that mentioned someone else. Well, custody defendery protege hasn't said anything trolley there, I don't think. Trolley. So I can't really do that, can I? I wouldn't remove somebody for not doing anything wrong. The real me. I haven't been in the same since the dude smashed my girl. I haven't been the same since dude smashed my girl. Okay, well that doesn't sound like the kind of thing that you necessarily want to be sharing. If I'm getting this right. Curious indeed. Mustard, Stevens' tank ain't got wheels. Well, if it had wheels, then you wouldn't be taking it for a walk either, then you'd be taking it for a roll. Uju Khan, hi. Daniel, hi. I'll decide to troll, but thanks for the heads up. Ujuj Khan, I am Ujuj. Thank you. And again. The Greenwood, no, I decide, I've just told you. Now you've been told. But John, Greenwood's the moderator and effectively the boss. Yeah. The Greenwood is the boss of this live stream. Even I can't tell the Greenwood off, can I? No. I thought it's exactly like Uju Cards. Definitely on one there. Barry Scrotter is here. We have tadpoles in our house today. Oh, and sunburn. Hi, Mustard. How are you doing? I'm okay, Mr. Barry Scrotter. Welcome to the live stream. Thank you for joining us and me. Theme Real Me. Dudes like you will smash people. Dudes like you will smash people's girlfriends and laugh at them. Well, dudes like me. How do you know? Nice bit of cold coffee. I wonder if Boaty's on tonight. I'm not going to stay on too much longer because I do. Oh, hang on. Yeah, I've got some video stuff to do. I've got some editing to do. I've got a video to put up from last night. I was going to ask about the one I put up on here last night, actually. The Mick Jagger one, because that was, if anybody's interested. That was actually a dream I had as I woke up. I thought, that's interesting. That'd make an interesting story. Not an interesting story, but it'd make a story, and maybe another kind of thing that goes onto this channel with all the other random nonsense that somehow doesn't really fit together. But it's not just dreams. Little trains of thoughts like that happen all the time. Sometimes I like to make up these stories for my girls. They just like it. I tell them about this chap called Ernest that I was at school with, who had just this insane appetite. And the stories just go on and on and on, and they just love them. It's not a bank holiday here in the USA, says Cat's Meow. Well, no, but that is a different country, and that'd be why. Harsh! Hi, buddy. Hello. Daniel, what do you call a boomerang that doesn't come back? A stick. We've done that one, Daniel. Do you have a shed? I've got a Fred. Fred the shed is the shed, I think. It's big enough to be a shed anyway, isn't it? Oh, did it, Johnson? Are you doing Bro Bless today? I don't know. Oh, put your handbag away, John. You have no power around here. The only alpha male is the one you are looking at on the screen, and I take my orders from him and nobody else. I bet John's gone actually. Is it the same? It's the same John that has popped in a few times though. I think it is anyway. Have you ever tried Jamaican ginger cake? Yes, I have, and I am very much keen on this stuff. Jamaican ginger cake with custard. Yes, very, very nice. Dana Nidora, what's your name again? What's your name again? Who's again? Sorry. My name is Mustard. Mr. Mustard. Wonder why your dad left. All right, I'll give that some thought. I will do, Daniel. Did it, Johnson? Big up yourself, Barlow. Big up yourself, Barlow time. Oh, brilliant. Big up yourself, Barlow, big time. Now, who's Barlow? What, as in the Coronation Street character? Ken Barlow? Is it Ken Barlow time? Is that, hey, do you think I look like Ken Barlow? Is that what it is? Maybe that's the thing about smashing girlfriends that somebody else mentioned before. Henry Cole is getting fatter. He's getting fatter than his dog these days. But is it the same Henry Cole that I'm thinking of, Barry? Steve Cole, the man who does shed, buried his love with another dude. Buried in his love with the other dude. Barry Scrotter. Santa's wife bought some sexy underwear from me today. I'm sure she had a good time all round except for December. Should you feel righteous or embarrassed if you die with a stiffy? I don't think it would stay there, would it? I mean, you know, that's presuming that if different parts of your body go at different times, the little head might still think it's in charge, I suppose. That's the only reason it could happen. It's part of life, dude. Stay with us. Life. Who are you talking to, Steve? Boat is on at 11. People cheat, even at Monopoly. Ah, right, I see. I was being tech support for Boaty earlier. A couple of hours of working and audio issues sorted now, I think. When's he trying it out? It'll be tomorrow, won't it? It's tomorrow when he does that one. Peter says, a bite from a Brazilian wandering spider can cause that. What's cooking? Asks Dave Smith. Dave, I'm sorry, nothing. You see, I had a big and very late tea, as we call it in this part of the country, about only a couple of hours ago. Well, actually, a bit more than that. No, yeah, more like 3 hours ago now. And I stuffed myself with so much food that the last thing I really want to do is start cooking something else, because there's no room. There's no room to put any of it. So no food tonight. Tomorrow, there will be. And that's the trouble with this live stream, is that, you know, it can be unpredictable. What will I need to be doing? I don't know when I'm going to want to eat. Often I can go hours and hours with nothing, and then other times I can eat a meal and then half an hour want some more. And that is where this would work. The only thing I can do is refrain from eating anything to do a live stream. And as it's been pointed out many, many times, gosh, you don't half eat late. Yeah, you do if you're doing a live stream where it's about cooking in the evening. And sometimes I don't feel like it. At 10. Oh, right, I see, yes. On the plus days, fishing and some unexpected catches. That's mad. That's a mad dream, Mustard. Fair play. Yes, Barry. I say mad made up things come to my lads and make me laugh. Well, yo, have you ever thought, Jeff Witt, I'm getting a takeaway? Oh, Jeff It. Right. Have you ever thought, Jeff It, I'm getting a takeaway? Yes, Steve Cold, I have, but actually, do you know what? Very rare would that be actually my choice. I would prefer to actually just cook. Monday will be split screen with Emma and his phone-ins. Yes, so tomorrow at 10 p.m. Good. Yeah, the tech didn't work. It sounded like Bandy. Bandy? Is the sound Bandy? Oh, go to bed, says Dave Smith. I might just have to do that, come to think of it. Especially if you're telling me to do. So he worked through what was the best setup for what he's got. Satisfying? Well, it worked well as we could get it. And that is Boaty's live stream thingy, which, of course, would be a bit better, won't it? Split into two screens like that. Oh, hang on. Dan Peters, night mustard, off to bed as I need to be up for work early in the morning. Oh, that wasn't a nice burp. Okay, thank you, Dan. Thank you for being here. And I'll see you in the next one. The curry I made 2 weeks ago was delicious last night. Right. Here you grumble because it had to be upright, not widescreen as usual. Mr. Tim probably knows that Brazilian wandering spider is also known as the banana spider. Now, here's a thing, actually, what happens here. Now, nearing the end of tonight's live stream, I'll go for an hour and a half, and that's really it. It doesn't help straining the eyes of reading, but it seems like lots of new people like to come in, ask a question, don't wait for the answer, and then never come back. Now, why? Why is that? Why do they do that? What's the point? Especially when I've gone to the effort of answering the question as well. I'm basically talking to other people that aren't interested in the answer, aren't I? So, you imagine this then. You're a new person to a live stream, And unless you're thinking, I tell you what, I'm going to upset the flow. I'm going to get the regular people in this live stream to have to listen to an answer about something that they're not interested in because I just ask a question. Oh, naughty. Charlotte Caniston, can the spider's female act? Can the spider female's act be interpreted as a twisted form of parental investment, where the male's genetic contribution becomes substance for the future generation, blurring the lines between? I've never thought of them as being that sophisticated, to be honest. Love, hunger, and the fierce will ensure the survival of her lineage. You do have some rather interesting things today, Charlotte, actually, to say, sorry. Yeah, I like that. Thank you. Daniel, hi. I didn't, well, either Daniel, whether you've been gone, I don't know. You don't have to say hi again, but thank you. Barry Squatter says, I've now been conned by the wife via my son to making a korma, to making a korma next week. Not very good and very tame. Yeah, it's a bit sweet, isn't it? I used to do one of those. I do a korma. And, if you have a takeaway korma, it's awful. It's the way too sweet. But you can do one yourself where it's nowhere near as sweet and tastes quite a bit better. But then, of course, at that point, you can just make it a lot tastier with lots of chilies and things. That's what I'd do. The ones who ask and then beggar off are just doing the rounds. They ask everyone the same thing all the time. Yeah, it's not very imaginative, is it, really? It's rather boring. Mustard's got his Brazilian volleyball shirt on. Being as I had this yellow shirt on today, I was attracting the insects somewhat. What kind of magnet is that, eh? But at least it gives you something to talk about and interest other people. But you know what? The thing is, tonight I had quite a few things. I thought, I'm going to mention this, I'm going to talk about this and that and what have you. And then I didn't get around to it, and I don't get around to it. And because I get distracted and I forget. Now, I have thought, what about if I did a live stream where I didn't read any comments? Where I just did something. I did some cooking, I did some talking about something, and I basically just had you as an audience but didn't really participate, because obviously the reading of comments is time consuming to the extent where I can basically go this amount of time, over an hour and 20 minutes without really even doing anything because of comments. And I'm not saying I don't want you to comment. I'm saying that what if I did something like that instead or as well? If I tried doing that kind of thing, would that be better for new people coming in that see something actually going on? Or worse, would they think, this guy's not interested in talking to anyone. He's just talking to himself there. I'm off. Simply no patience. That is probably exactly it, really. Probably exactly it. It's yellow in it, yeah. Yes, Charlotte. And a desire to be noticed. Now, right now, hello, look at me. It's the TikTok effect. I do wonder, actually, really, whether when I first found TikTok, I remember thinking it makes YouTube look really old hat. And of course, YouTube has tried to compete with TikTok with the shorts. Facebook has the same kind of thing, and Instagram as well. So you've got 4 platforms all trying to do exactly the same thing, and it's rather than it just sticking with what it was, which is, you know, a platform for longer videos, they try and compete with something that's ruining exactly what's happening or what was happening on YouTube in the first place. YouTube's a brilliant thing. YouTube's given everyone the same opportunity to make something that other people might be interested in. And with the attention spans getting shorter and shorter, and I think they are as well, because you just get used to just flicking from one thing to another so quickly, because it's not grabbing your attention quite enough straight, you know, within the first couple of seconds, then nobody really invests any effort into something that might actually be good. I think we all know that, don't we? Do you ever worry about running out of receipts? Do you mean something else? Yeah, shove chilies in it. Loads and loads, says Barry Squatter. Couldn't agree more. Could agree more. Probably couldn't. Charlotte is caught in a web, I think. Windy Miller, sup. He's on about following the original script. So it looks like I am here just in time. Right, you thought so, Charlotte, yeah. Charlotte, men sacrifice lots in their own way, lol. What about spiders, though? Nope, I think you need to read the comments and do the cooking and ignore the dross. You need to interact, and we're here for the interaction with you as well as each other. Thank you. Right, okay, well, that clarifies it to me a bit more then, really. Which were best, Mayans or Vikings? Oh, right, hang on. I live in a boat, says Dave Smith. I have a smoke outside or in the bathroom with the extractor fan on. I'm banned from smoking on the boat. I live on my own. Dave, oh, that's for you, mate. Jimmy Quinn. Bye, Jimmy Quinn. Dave, don't be hard on yourself. Hello, gang, says Dino Dad. Right, just in time for me to go, actually, as well. Sorry about that. Sorry indeed. We're saying goodbye to each other. One in, one out. One in, one out. One out. Most of us are out. Yes. because the fish tank light is blue, does it make it harder for them to spot approaching fire engines and ambulances? Thank you, Windy Miller. Oh, suntans and gingers. So, right. So basically, ignore the football comments and name a car, etc. Well, actually, yeah. If I'm doing something, then it's a bit difficult for me to just wander off. But the football thing, that gave me the opportunity to talk about my wonderful experiences of football. And who was it who asked about that? Oh, it's Cat's Meow, who's still here. So that's a different matter. Mustard gas. Right, anyway, look, I'm sorry, but I'm going to go. I'm going to go. It's achy eye time, and time I did something else. So, thank you all for joining me tonight in the kitchen. Thank you for liking the live stream. Thank you for commenting on the live stream. Thank you for anyone that's new for hanging about and subscribing, etc. And thank you to my moderators. Most of all, actually, the Greenwood, for always being here throughout. Very, very, very useful. So, good night, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.